What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Media Takeout put out a very interesting article today, and Media Takeout is like a hit or miss, right? So we don't really know if it's true, but it could be true. What is Media Takeout talking about today? Well, they're saying because of the fallout between Keke Palmer and Darius Jackson, that Keke Palmer is going to change her preference. And her New Year's resolution, according to one of her friends, is this. She's no longer going to date a light-skinned man ever again, right? Now, this is very similar to what you're hearing Young Miami say about brothers who are podcasters. She's saying the men of this era, they're too weak, they are too feminine. But she's also saying that because Darius Jackson happens to be light-skinned, that he's also, similar to what Young Miami is saying. And this is not something that is new. I've always heard sisters talk about light-skinned men are emotional, they stay in the mirror too long, and they want to blame this on skin tone. This is no different than swirlers blaming their problems on black men. This is no different. However, there are problematic dark-skinned brothers. I'm a dark-skinned brother. I've definitely been emotional. You got light-skinned brothers who ain't emotional, right? What it does when women talk like this, it absolves them of personal responsibility. All right. It's just like it is when you go on that date and you hear the chick talking about her baby daddy, why she's not with him, why he's a loser, and why he's the most terrible person in the world. This is what we're talking about, right? And a lot of men, when we hear this, it doesn't make sense to us once we get the gist of it, right? And what we understand is that this lady has a problem in her relationships. And I'm gonna tell you who the biggest problem is in the relationship. Her. That is the biggest problem. Okay? That is the biggest problem. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to make light of it, but that's what it is. The biggest problem happens to be her. And I'm going to tell you the big problem that we see from women in Hollywood, women that have money. It's the whole boss chick syndrome. I did a really good video on boss chicks and city girls and why they're going to die broke, right? Why it's going to die broke. And a lot of these women out here are chasing the bag. Got to get to the bag, got to chase the bag. The bag is what matters. Nothing else matters. The bag, the bag, the bag. The problem is that when you want to get the bag, and at first they're like, hey, I can do better by myself. Remember that was the case? Now they're not saying I can do better by myself because they still want somebody. Now they can't get somebody on their quote unquote level, right? And I'm gonna tell you this amongst professional men, amongst men that have money. A lot of guys talk behind the scenes because guys are smart now. Very few guys can come on and risk their career talking about the things that I can talk about, so they don't. Well, know what most men do? Most men say, look, we're not putting up with it. We're not talking about it at all. So we're not even going to consider dating some of these ladies that have the same level of college education because they're not ready to be wives. So we're going to either take our services in our market to other female communities, be it, in the diaspora, or we're going to go to, to Europe or to Brazil, or we're just going to, if stay single. All right. And the reality is that these women can't get the guys that they should want to be because they don't have any level of compromise. So you think that it has something to do with light skin or dark skin? No, it's just that for who you're supposed to be with, you're not ready. And people think I sound crazy when I say this, but I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of women who feel like they are ready for a relationship. Firstly, they talk about themselves as they are a great catch. And whenever you talk to them about what are you gonna do for a man, it's always about how good they are, how much money they make, how ambitious they are, how much vibes they have. They never have any idea or any clue what they can do for a man. It doesn't matter. They haven't been trained that way. All right. So you're never going to see that. So because you don't have what a man is looking for, because you don't know, you're forced to date people like Darius Jackson. Now, remember, dating somebody that was broke or beneath you 15 years ago, I can do better by myself. Now they switch the goalposts. Now it's, you know what? He's light skinned. You know what? That's what it is. He's a light-skinned guy. So that's why it's not working out. I know the reason why it's not working out is because you don't have the appeal that you think you do. And again, a lot of guys don't want to tell these ladies that. A lot of guys that see what's happening in Black America and they see what's happening with American women and things like that, guys don't want to talk about it. What it is that you have a lack of well, here's what most men think that I talk to. The women don't have the maturity to be in relationships with adult men. That's what Kevin Samuels said. When Kevin Samuels went on to T.I., he didn't say it in that frame exactly, but he said a lot of professional men felt that they could not match with women from our community on the same level. The women felt like they were a match, but to the men, they could not find them. They were not on the level that a man needed them to be on. The women thought they were on the level and found out very quickly that they were not on that level. That's what it was. And Keke Palmer, what we're finding out with her, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Lonnie Love, Nicki Minaj, what we're finding out is something that we've known all along is they're not on the level they think they are. So you're dealing with guys who you feel like you can do better than, but you can't. And you're trying to blame it on a guy's skin complexion instead of blaming it on the fact that you didn't put in the work to get chose. Because you don't want to put in the work to get chose. So when you don't want to put in the work to get chose, here's what happens. You end up with a guy like that. All right. When you don't want to put in the work to get chose, you end up with a guy like this. Okay. It is what it is. You can get mad if you want. You can get upset about it if you want. But it is what it is. Okay. It is what it is. And again, it's going to continue to happen. A lot of these chicks are going to be struggling with these guys. They just are, they just are. They're going to continue and they're going to continue to make excuses. Every time a man is not interested in them, what are they going to say? Oh, you know what? I'm not loving myself enough. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm not putting myself first. Or he's light skinned. Or you know what? Those black men are gay. Yes, they're gay. That's what it is. They don't want a real woman like me because they're gay. They're gay. All they want is white women. Anything you can do to absolve themselves from, well, I'm here. Nobody's really choosing me like that. Maybe it's something wrong with me. Maybe I have a problem. They can't do that. They can't do it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Producer for all you, just heard the bell. We're out.